Get ready for space action because today is the day. We are diving straight into the massive effort involving SpaceX and NASA as they prepare to send thousands of pounds of vital supplies to the International Space Station. This is the 34th time that billionaire Elon Musk's commercial rocket company is aiming to launch a cargo spacecraft from Florida to that iconic orbital outpost. We break down everything you need to know about this monumental mission happening right now.
Tired of dropping your phone or struggling to hold it with one hand? The PopSocket's Pop Grip gives you a secure grip, works as a phone stand, and even lets you swap the top for a fresh new look. Simple, useful, and perfect for everyday phone use. Click the link in the comments to grab yours on Amazon.
Next up, we look at the details surrounding this critical launch. We're talking about the SpaceX Dragon cargo capsule, loaded with 6,500 pounds of science and supplies, preparing for its journey from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. We will cover the precise schedule, the Falcon 9 rocket involved, and what this means for the ongoing partnership between NASA and SpaceX as they execute the commercial resupply services contract. Now, we pull back the curtain on the coverage. We will show you exactly how you can watch this incredible event live. Find out where to stream the launch, including on NASA Plus, YouTube, and Amazon Prime, and when to tune in for the live coverage as the Dragon docks at the ISS. We'll also explore the scientific research this cargo is carrying, from water purification hardware to studies on space weather. Finally, we wrap up with some important context and what's next in space exploration. We'll touch upon the broader context of crew missions, including the upcoming Crew 13, and we'll also look at the recent successful launch of the NROL-172 mission from Vandenberg Space Force Base. Don't miss out on the rest of the action. Stay locked in with us. SpaceX and NASA are set to launch another uncrewed cargo spacecraft to the International Space Station today, May 12th, carrying thousands of pounds of supplies for the 7 astronauts currently aboard. This marks the 34th time that Elon Musk's commercial rocket company has sent a cargo mission from Florida to the orbital outpost. The mission follows a recent resupply launch by Russia from Kazakhstan. The upcoming mission will utilize SpaceX's Falcon 9 rocket to propel the Dragon capsule into orbit, where it will use its own engines for a 2-day journey to the station. This launch precedes the Crew 13 mission, which is anticipated to bring 4 new astronauts to the ISS in September. The International Space Station, positioned in low Earth orbit approximately 260 miles high, serves as a vital hub for international scientific research, operated through a global partnership involving NASA, Roscosmos, ESA, JAXA, and CSA. Over 290 spacefarers from 26 nations have visited the ISS, with 170 coming from the United States alone. Scheduled to launch from the Cape Canaveral Space Force Station, the Falcon 9 rocket is slated to launch at 7:16 p.m. ET. The Dragon cargo capsule will carry approximately 6,500 pounds of cargo, including essential supplies and research equipment. If the launch proceeds as planned, the Dragon is expected to arrive at the ISS at 9:50 a.m. ET on Thursday, May 14, where 2 astronauts will monitor the automated docking procedure. Both NASA and SpaceX will provide live coverage of the commercial resupply mission, designated CRS-34. NASA's coverage begins at 7 p.m. ET on May 12, streaming live on NASA Plus, the YouTube channel, and Amazon Prime. SpaceX will offer a live webcast starting about 20 minutes before liftoff via its website and X platform. NASA's coverage will resume at 8:20 a.m. ET on May 14 as the Dragon approaches the ISS. The SpaceX Dragon remains docked at the station until mid-June before departing for a water landing off the coast of California. The Dragon is the sole U.S. vehicle capable of transporting astronauts to and from the ISS, capable of carrying up to 7 crew members. 7 astronauts, part of Expedition 74, are currently working on the ISS, including members of the Crew 12 mission and other international crew members. NASA astronaut Chris Williams and Russian cosmonauts Sergei Mikheyev and Sergei Kudzverchkov are also aboard until their replacements arrive in July. SpaceX is set to launch its 34th Cargo Dragon mission to the International Space Station, carrying 6,500 pounds of science and supplies. The mission is scheduled for Tuesday evening from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station, with liftoff slated for 7:16:31 p.m. EDT, 2316:31 UTC, aboard a Falcon 9 rocket from Space Launch Complex 40. The launch is proceeding on a northeasterly trajectory toward the orbiting station, marking SpaceX's 34th flight under its commercial resupply services contract. Live coverage is expected to begin approximately 1 hour before liftoff. The launch vehicle will utilize the Falcon 9 first stage booster B-1096, which is slated for its 6th flight. This booster is set to execute a return to landing zone 40 adjacent to the launch pad, marking its 4th recovery at the site and the 74th landing across the 3 pads used since 2015. This marks the 6th flight for the Cargo Dragon spacecraft, serial number C209, which has previously flown missions CRS-22, -24, -27, -30, and this is the first time a Cargo Dragon will launch for a 6th time, and the 2nd for the Dragon 2 program overall. SpaceX has completed life extension qualification for the crew vehicles and a Delta certification process for the cargo configuration, ensuring at least 6 flight qualification rationale for this mission. The Cargo Dragon will separate from the Falcon 9's 2nd stage roughly 9.5 minutes into the flight, initiating a nearly 50-hour period for the spacecraft to rendezvous with the ISS, with a planned docking around 9:50 a.m. EDT on Thursday, May 14. Weather forecasts for the launch site show a 35% chance of acceptable weather due to a slow-moving front across Florida. Launch Weather Officer Brian Cizik noted that while current models are slowing the progression of the front, there is a slight drying trend expected later in the week, offering better outlooks for Wednesday and Thursday. This launch follows a significant operational milestone for the Falcon 9 booster, which is the 6th flight for that specific booster. In the broader context of ISS operations, the arrival of the new cargo spacecraft precedes scheduled spacewalks on the Russian segment, with crew rotations and other missions planned for the following months. NASA continues to monitor other potential resupply options, including the status of Boeing's Starliner spacecraft, which remains under investigation for potential future cargo runs to the ISS. A major NASA and SpaceX mission is set to launch on Tuesday night, carrying approximately 6,500 pounds of vital cargo to the International Space Station. The SpaceX Dragon spacecraft will lift off aboard a Falcon 9 rocket from the Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida at approximately 7:16 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. The event will be broadcast live. Viewers can stream the excitement via the station's dedicated app, which is available on platforms including Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and other smart TVs. Coverage begins around 7 p.m. EDT. Additionally, the launch will be streamed on NASA Plus, Amazon Prime, the NASA YouTube channel, and across official NASA social media channels, including X, Facebook, and Instagram. NASA officials highlighted the mission's extensive scientific value. Bill Spetch, an operations and integration manager at NASA, stated that the cargo includes water purification hardware and research aimed at improving the understanding of space weather. Furthermore, the equipment aboard the Dragon will support studies into treatments for osteoporosis and research concerning charged particles around Earth and their influence on power grids. The Dragon is scheduled to dock with the ISS on Thursday morning around 9:50 a.m. EDT. Coverage of the docking is set to begin Thursday at 8:20 a.m. The spacecraft is expected to remain at the space station until mid-June, after which it is planned to splash down off the Pacific coast of California. Currently, the International Space Station is crewed by 7 astronauts from 2 previous missions, including 3 Americans, 3 Russians, and French astronaut Sophie Adenaude. A Falcon 9 rocket successfully launched the NROL-172 mission from Vandenberg Space Force Base on Monday evening, May 11th, at 7:13 p.m., The launch originated from Space Launch Complex 4E SLC-4E. This marks the 9th flight for the first stage booster supporting this mission, which has previously carried Sentinel-6B, Twilight, and 6 Starlink missions. Following the successful separation of the first stage, it executed a landing on the Of Course I Still Love You drone ship, which was positioned in the Pacific Ocean. Residents in Santa Barbara, San Luis Obispo, and Ventura counties may have experienced sonic booms during the launch, though the intensity depended on prevailing weather conditions. Vandenberg Space Force Base has scheduled subsequent rocket launches for May 15th and May 18th.